Hey, everybody, and welcome to Tribal Trades. Another episode here, the daily show. Friday morning, we're coming into the weekend. Hope you are having an amazing day wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Want to warmly welcome you to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. And of those of you who are regulars, you know the drill. Smash that like button. This helps get this content out to more people, helps grow this channel, and really appreciate all of your support, all the comments and the questions, all the encouragement and the questions there. I look to get back to those as quickly as possible. And if you haven't joined our ever-growing community as of yet and would love to do that, just click the subscribe button there and you'll be notified whenever another video comes out. I put another video out. Okay, so we had a pretty awesome day yesterday. And if you've been following along with my cheat sheet, or if you're new to the channel and don't know about my cheat sheet, please see the link in the description below. I've got a ton of links down there. The cheat sheet is one of them, where I put entries for coins and exits for coins, both for long and medium-term trading in there, and short-term, as it turned out, because we had a bit of a dip. Literally, it was felt like, 5-6 days ago? And at the time, I was clear on this channel, and over the last few days that I felt the local bottom was in. And many other people were calling for lower prices, 40, 30,000, just, kind of while possible, if that was going to be the case. And just remember this, because historically, whenever Bitcoin has dropped below the cost of mining in a bull market, it has then turned into a bear market. So while those price predictions were possible, they were very unlikely. It would have meant an early end to the bull market. So I stayed the course, stayed consistent on this channel for you to bring you good analysis, news events, and a big picture, as well as looking at the micro analysis as well, to help you get the best education, because I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. It's just for education, entertainment purposes only. All right, we're going to jump into some of the news there. And first of all, we have a Bitcoin death cross that is looming. What is that? A death cross is where the 50-day moving average crosses below the 200-day moving average. And it's a bearish indicator, but it's a lagging one. And so I feel like we already had the capitulation. It kind of tells you the disaster happened after it happened, okay? And the results are kind of mixed, but in this bull market, the last one we had was September 12, 2023, and it marked the bottom for Bitcoin. And it's been mostly up since then. Bitcoin has nearly done a 2x since then. So I would say I'm going to agree that it's again marked the bottom for Bitcoin. It's a lagging indicator. So if you see a lot of people posting a lot of FUD and fear out there, certainly can we come down lower? We'll look at the Bitcoin charts. Of course, it's always possible. Anything's possible. Anything can happen in the world that can create some kind of situation where there could be further move to the downside. But I feel that the local bottom, again, was in, as I predicted, the local bottom was in back on, what was it, July 4th crash, I think it was around July 8th, predicted that was also the local bottom. If you'd bought that dip based off my education, you would have profited heavily up to 70,000. And then again, I had stated this was a local top. It was the top of my wedge pattern. And if you'd sold there, you could have been out in profit and then rinse, repeat, get back in the bottom. And now a lot of the good trades have been missed, by the way. I'm not necessarily encouraging people to enter right now. We will get to the charts and we'll talk about that. Very, very important. First of all, we've got more government attack on crypto. Tyler Winklevoss, one of the Winklevoss twins. I don't know why I use that accent. It just felt right at the moment, but it's early this morning, so forgive me. But here we go, coming after another crypto-friendly bank. And the Winklevoss twins, they run the US-based Gemini crypto exchange. So they're feeling that if there's not change in the upcoming election, there'll be 4 more years of this, and the crypto industry in America will be dead. That's pretty dire warning. But certainly that's some interesting news to have come out, that yet another bank has been attacked by the Fed, and that's not a good sign, because at some point, if you lose your on-ramps, how are you going to get your cash onto exchanges to trade if there's no banks that are able to do that. So just keep that in mind when the elections come around in November. Always good to get all the facts. Also, we have the CME gap got filled. I did tell you the CME gaps get filled. I see all these people, oh, the CME gap doesn't have to get filled right away. No, it doesn't, but it usually does, okay? And I said when the last CME gap got created that it will usually get filled sooner rather than later. And people are like, oh, the CME gap's not going to get filled, doesn't have to get filled. And down we came all the way to fill that CME gap. And now we've boosted up, what is it, $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 pump since the dump just like 6 days ago. Crazy. And we filled the CME gap to the dollar. Please pay attention to the CME gaps. You can trade those CME gaps. They don't always get filled. They usually always do, though, the majority of the time, and they usually get filled more often sooner rather than later. Again, I predicted this on this channel. I said that I felt that this was going to happen sooner rather than later, and it played out exactly as I had predicted. Okay, the market progress, I believe, is still on track. People ask me, I'm still bullish. Yeah, there's no reason for me not to be bullish. We're still on track with the 4-year cycle that we're here compared to previous years here, and we're here. So I don't see anything different for now. I think we're going to keep moving along. And when we go to the Bitcoin charts at the end here, I will show you where I feel we are heading from here. Of course, we've got Russia is also bullish on crypto. They passed 2 bills to legalize mining from November 1st and cross-border settlements and exchange trading in digital currency. Russia are going full crypto, so another country stepping in and making sure they have legalized the option of mining and cryptocurrency trading. A couple of altcoins, and we will be doing an altcoin show soon. Okay, I will be traveling, and so I will be doing that video and posting it while I'm traveling because it will be difficult for me to do a live update. So I want to get some altcoins in. Render will be one of those altcoins that I cover. And I love how people compare Render to XRP. It's really cool. You see, if Render had the same market cap, the same amount of money that went into XRP, Render would be $335. And that just shows you the absolute scam and sham of the XRP coin and the horrible tokenomics, the lock supply that's being released at 1 billion coins per month dumped onto retail buying the token. So it just goes to show you if we could push Render to the same market cap of XRP, it would be 75x from here. Okay, so look, not financial advice. I dumped my XRP. Best decisions I've made in this bull run. Certainly people have been using my cheat sheet to dollar cost average and dump and get out of their XRP. Also, there are just much stronger coins and tokens, in my opinion. I did a show called This Changes Everything. I had to pause for a moment. I think I've linked it on my cheat sheet. I'll check that in a moment. I really advise you to check that out. I chose some really strong tokens with strong tokenomics. We traded them in the dip. We've had extraordinary gains from there. If you join me in trading those in the dip. And okay, tsunami is happening. Sui has been one of my biggest holdings. I have consistently posted about it. It's in my cheat sheet. We'll have a look at it at the moment. Absolutely crushed it. I think it went up 100% in just this week from a low of around 40 something cents up to like 85%. Absolutely crushed it. And there are reasons for that. And Tau as well. And I gave out Tau at $160. It went up 100% as well to $320. One of the best tokenomics out there with only 21 million supply. It's an AI token. And one of the reasons why is because Grayscale launches the new crypto investment trust for Sui and for Tau. This is extremely, extremely bullish for these tokens here. So I'm going to jump into both Sui and Tau in my altcoin show with that. And then And I mean, so okay, so we're going to have a quick look at the charts here. We've got Bitcoin first of all, and again, this trend line, if you go back to my earlier videos, I drew this in a long time ago, even before we came down and hit here. Okay, this trend line was in play, and you can go back to many. You can go back all the way back to many weeks before, and now it's come down and look, it's hit it. It hit it again, and it's found support at this trend line. This trend line has been in place for a while now. We're basing this trend line all the way back to October of last year. Okay, that I've drawn this trend line support. This is my wedge here, and it's simple. And I've had this wedge in place. I drew this wedge back in May. So I put this wedge in here. So if you've been watching this channel since I launched it at the end of the May, I put this wedge in here. If you traded this wedge, you would have taken profit here, got back in the trade, taken profit here, got back in the trade, and here, look, you could take some profit here. And look, there were some people on the channel, and there was on the Discord, and they're saying, hey, or maybe it was on the YouTube comments, and they were saying, oh, hey, you're saying to maybe take some profit for Tau, but on your HODL, your profit's not till much later. Yeah, because I have two different trading portfolios. One is HODL and one is swing trade. I actually have three. I have a day trade one as well. A real, when I get in and out of positions many times in one day. Swing trades usually are a matter of days, maybe weeks, and HODL are months or years. And so you've got to make sure that in your trading, you have a good plan and you know, okay, how many portfolios I'm going to have. Okay, so for Bitcoin, where do we see here? We see that we have the 200 EMA on the daily. I told you this, below it, we're bearish. Above it, we're bullish, okay? I also said I didn't see us going below this low bottom here. I don't believe it. I believe that's it. And I believe that we're going to keep moving up. We could come down, retest here. I'm looking at around 51,500 as a possible comeback and retest if we have a little bit of rectember action. Also, we could maybe go as low as 47 around that area, but that's my most bearish scenario. Of course, we could come back and retest my trend line like we have done just recently, which would be sitting, you can see the price there around 54 at the moment would be where the trend line is. That's where we were. That's where the entry that I gave on the Discord, I said either 54, or if we drop that, it's 51,500 or around that area. To the upside, we have the 50-day moving average where we just got rejected, by the way, and we're just sitting under that 50-day moving average, sitting at about 61, almost 62,000. So we're kind of stuck in between there. I would expect a push out one way or the other here. So we're going to get a squeeze. It's going to get squeezed, and we're going to push out. We're going to pop out like a pimple to one. That's a bit of a gross analogy. One way or the other. Let's see what happens. But as you can see, this wedge pattern here, where if we come back into the smaller wedge pattern, then the breakout around in October, we stay in this larger wedge pattern. I haven't finished drawing that, but that's going to take us through more towards the end of the year. Of course, we can break out of this wedge pattern at any time, but I feel like we're going to bounce around in here, and in fourth quarter is where we're going to truly take off and probably not come back. And we may, the reality is we may never see this price again. Maybe not until the bear market, but maybe even the bear market will never see this price again. So always look for these local bottom indicators. All right, let's have a quick look at ETH BTC. This is looking a little bit sad, I have to say, and this is where I feel like we may have found a little bit of a bottom for ETH, and maybe the only way is up. Again, I'm not sure if there will be the same level of gains by trading ETH than in other coins. ETH has got decent tokenomics. It hasn't got as good tokenomics as something like AO, which I will be talking about in my upcoming altcoin video. But certainly there is some, it's regulated. It's not a security, and you can trade it on the ETFs. And I do feel Ethereum is going to have some very good upside in this bull market. And my targets to the upside are upwards to around 10,000. We could see Ethereum hit that. It is going to have a run. Right now, as you can see, I mean, it came down, how bearish it got. It came all the way down to the 200 moving average on the weekly moving average. And look, I can't even recall coin, a blue chip coin like this coming down that far. So that's a heavy retracement. Certainly if you're looking to pick up Ethereum, I still think it's a buy right now. I think it's a buy right up until once we break over the 200 EMA on the daily and retest that as support and break through these trend lines that are here, which will provide some resistance, then obviously we're up to the races, and I think we'll move fairly quickly back up to 4,000, and from there up to the all-time high, and then on to about 5,500 and so forth. So that's how I'm seeing Ethereum at the moment. Again, when you compare that to what it has to do to get to 4,600 just to double it, Tau went and did that in just a single week, and so did Sui. So these coins that have great market cap like tokenomic are very good. Solana, this is fantastic trade. If you took this, I gave you the entries down here at the 120 area, and then we obviously busted through the 200 EMA on the daily at 138. If you're looking to get back in, this would be my first entry here, and then I'd be looking for a second entry down here at around 130 odd, and then you want to ride this up. And right now, we can see that there's some resistance here right in this area about 160, and we might range in this area here. You could create some good swing trading here between the 200 EMA or between this trend line here, 140, 145 up to about 160. You could be buying in here, selling here, buying in here. This wedge is about to close here, and we're going to get a pop to the upside or the downside here. My feeling is it's going to pop to the upside and retest this. I might just drag this out a little bit further here, and then drag this out a little bit further here as well. And so we've definitely had deviations outside, but most of the time we spent time. Again, these are absolutely fantastic because you can see if you trade these, you take profit and then you buy back in. You take profit, you buy back in, you take profit. Obviously, it'll keep going a little bit and you'll miss out on some of that, but this is just great. And then you get back in, take profit, and then once you break out, we'll then give updated trading analysis of that. Okay, so we do see the 50-day moving average down here at around 150 odd. So that might not be a bad opportunity to jump back in a trade. But although we are, that gives, I'd like to see if it holds there, if it rebounds off there, that might be a good trade to take. If it breaks down from there, then I'm probably waiting to enter around 145 or down to 140 if we get down that far. So that is Solana there. And then we're going to finish up here on the cheat sheet, because the cheat sheet has been a home run. So many of you are sharing your stories, how you've made such great gains off the cheat sheet. So here we have the HODL, and I'm probably going to change this to HODL here, just so we're not confused. And we're going to have a swing trade section here as well. So I'll update that. But here are all the different entries that we've given over the course of this bull run since we started the channel, and the coins that I've identified. A lot, if not all, of these targets have been hit, and now it's just waiting to take profits to the upside. And there is the profit targets. These are the entries here. Obviously, getting the lower entries is better. And so, but you can dollar cost average there. I have some other coins that I've added as well. They're not part of my original cheat sheet. I only hold 2 coins on here, H&T and Fetch. And then the swing trade, this has been an absolute home run. We look at Arweave, the entries here, it was up $22. Banana went all the way up to about $39. Obviously, Bitcoin shot up all the way to $62,000. So an average entry there of 51. Ethereum really hasn't had a jump yet, sitting at about 26, but still be up about $400 on that trade. Injective, I think, did it get up to about 19 or 20? Bit of a laggard still, but I still have hope for Injective. Casper, absolute rocket, went up to about 17 cents. So the average there was 13 if you landed all these trades. Again, that's gone up. Solana's been an absolute powerhouse from 110 up to 160, and Tau has been the absolute scorched earth trade. That trade at 165, 180, and at 200, and went all the way up to $320. Now, the market moves so fast, I didn't even get a chance to take profit in there. But listen, if you're in profit on these trades and the market, as soon as Bitcoin filled that CME gap that was probably a time to lock in some profits across the board. If you're still in profit, certainly feel free to take some profits. I'm not saying to take profit or don't take profit. You can lock in some profit and leave the rest. You can exit out of the whole position in profit, or you can just take the profit and leave the rest to run. There's so many different ways to manage that. I will get that in there at some point. Certainly for Tau, if you hit 320 there, that's definitely where you want to be taking profit on that one. I'll give that there. And for Solana, 160 taking profit. I mean, you're up there significantly as well. And Casper, I think we're back to about 16 cents, so we'll wait a little bit longer on this one for some profit. Obviously, Bitcoin hitting up to that gap, 62,000 if it gets back there. I mean, it's just pulled back a little bit. If you're good at profit, certainly locking in some profit there can be a good idea. And then banana gun, I think we headed up to around 38 for profit, but I will update that. I'm looking for a little bit higher, but 22 is not a bad place to take profit if you got your average entry at 14. Remember, these are shorter term trades here that I've given, that I gave on the dump when the dump happened and when these prices were low. I quickly got this new tab out here on the cheat sheet so people could profit from this dump. Always good to have separate portfolios, in my opinion, one for hodling and one for swing trading or day trading. Even I have 3 portfolios, but 2 is fine. 3 is even better, in my opinion. I do cover that in my life-changing gains series, which I do have linked here under education. You can access all my life-changing gains series, my money printing method, how to get started, and also how to use the BitUnex exchange. If you're in the USA, tired of all the Coinbase, Uphold, and Crypto.com fees, you can get started with BitUnex over here. All right, I'm going to leave it at that today. And as always, I appreciate all of your support and all the love from the channel. And if you haven't checked out the Discord, I'm in the Discord, in the josh.com Discord, daily in the crypto channel, the most amazing community there in crypto. Their link is there and below, and it's also in my links area here. You can find lots of other useful, helpful links, so check that out as well. Alrighty, until the next video, happy trading.